Welcome to the White Ribbon Alliance AGM. I'm delighted that you're all gathered together in Dar es Salaam to share your experiences with each other and to coordinate the next stages of our vital campaign to save mothers' lives. I'm just sorry not to be with you all to congratulate and thank each and every one of you for all that you do for the maternal mortality campaign. I'm delighted that Mama Salma Kikwete, the First Lady of Tanzania, is able to join you at your AGM and demonstrate her support for your campaign, and that Mrs. Banda of Zambia and Mrs. Odinga of Kenya have travelled to be with you too during the week. I'm proud to count these women as my friends and value the commitment they show to reducing maternal mortality in their countries and elsewhere in the world. It's a great achievement as the White Ribbon Alliance celebrates its 10th anniversary to know that the membership now spans 142 countries. And of course, the journey goes back much further. But in the last 10 years, we've achieved a lot, and it feels like we're on the brink of real progress. You know that it is not so long ago that Millennium Development Goal number 5, to reduce maternal deaths by 75%, was referred to as the forgotten MDG. That is no longer true, thanks to your efforts in raising awareness at every level. It's also not so long ago that it was said that there had been no change in maternal mortality for 20 years. The figures are still dreadful, but there is now a real opportunity for positive change. Now, as never before, there is political momentum and commitment to improving maternal, newborn and child health from both donor and developing country governments. From the international political level, we also have a new global consensus on the priority actions needed. We're beginning to see new resources becoming available for health system strengthening, targeted at women and children's health. And I believe that when you look at the achievements on the ground in every country tackling maternal and newborn mortality, you can link this with the international and national advocacy efforts, most of which lead back to the hard-won efforts of you all, the members of the White Ribbon Alliance. You're a phenomenal force, and I hope that you afford yourselves a little time this week to consider what you have done and thank yourselves before attending to the plans for the next campaigning stages. And there has been plenty of energy and creativity and commitment going on at the international political level. And as the White Ribbon Alliance's global patron, I have several things to report to you. Firstly, maternal mortality was on the agenda at the G8 in Rome, making this the second year where those world leaders address maternal and newborn deaths. Secondly, at the United Nations in September, a session with 17 world leaders and Secretary General Ban Ki-moon focused on global health for women and children. I was there and I witnessed the big new financial commitments that were made. For many country leaders, the message did hit home that the mistreatment and undervaluing of women and girls is denying families, communities, economies, everybody, the full contribution of half the world's people. And thirdly, the World Bank has initiated a new innovative financing scheme that allows governments to raise funding for healthcare. The Africa Union, led by its Social Affairs Commissioner Beens Gawanas, has launched its country-by-country campaign, Karma, which is saying loud and clear, no woman should die while giving life. The World Health Organization's inspirational director, Margaret Chan, made maternal mortality a priority at the World Health Assembly in Geneva this year. UNICEF has published its annual State of the World's Children report, and this year devoted its contents to mothers. UNFPA has moved into a new gear with reinstated funding, and the major NGOs, ranging from Oxfam to CARE, Amnesty International to Comic Relief and Save the Children, have also focused on maternal mortality in support of their objectives, whether to reduce poverty, tackle human rights issues, or to help children. And the Gates Foundation has also stepped up a gear for maternal and newborn health, and I've been proud to see Melinda Gates' persistent championing of her role as the impatient optimist. And let us not forget the mighty professional organisations, the midwives, doctors, paediatricians and nurses who joined forces this year to send a message to the G8 on behalf of their 14.3 million members. And I know that many of you here reinforce that effort in your own countries. And I also want to single out the White Ribbon Alliance's new ambassador, Naomi Campbell, for special mention. She started by organising her renowned Fashion for Relief show in London, sparking off huge press and media coverage and bringing in much needed cash for the White Ribbon Alliance. Since then, she's travelled to Los Angeles to join the African First Ladies Summit, led the pledges for help at the New York Women's Dinner this year, bringing in even more support, and is now here with you in Dar es Salaam to learn more firsthand and to stage a historic event, the first African Fashion for Relief, right here in Dar es Salaam. Thank you, Naomi. And finally, our message is being heard, that women are at the very heart of development, that the death of a mother is not only avoidable, but it means the loss of the person who will raise her family, feed, vaccinate, educate and nurture her children. So we have passed the point where world leaders can just ignore this global outrage. Our campaign to stop preventable maternal and newborn deaths has encouraged world leaders to address the political will needed at the top. I continue to believe this will be most effective if we maintain the live connection we now have with the grassroots communities and national White Ribbon Alliances around the world. That we will do best if we continue to make the voices of women heard. World leaders will gather again next September to report on what they have done to meet the Millennium Development Goals. This will be a significant moment, as in 2010 there are only 5 years to go to meet the MDG promises. And while the maternal mortality MDG is the most off track, I know that you are keeping watch and holding those leaders to account, as well as keeping watch on how money for health is spent. You are also getting your country leaders, your First Ladies, all parliamentarians on side. You are working with governments and healthcare providers to make health systems work better for women and children. It is a truly global, genuinely inspiring effort. I have always loved the White Ribbon Alliance's central call to action, to encourage everyone to find a way to play their part, however best they can contribute. I know that each of you have done that in extraordinary, powerful, transformative ways in your own countries. All I can add is my thanks to you. Thank you for continuing to play your part.